would like to now turn it over to the person responsible for all this. Not only is he super passionate about helping others, but with his wacky sense of humor, his quick wit, his corny jokes, I should say his rude and crude jokes, and his infectious laugh, he has a way of making us all have so much fun as we're helping other people. So please help me welcome Freddy Petrone.
I'm not responsible for it. You guys are. Number one, God is, that's for sure. And put that over there. Sorry about that, that's fine. Speaking of losing my vision, I got one joke for you. So nothing happened. It's all right. Forget everything too. Look at the front row is all empty. I'm such a control freak. I saved it for my friends who have become like my family, our family from Crossroads, and I forgot to tell them I reserved the seat for them. And that's okay, you know? So anyways, there was a nun taking a bath, and she heard a knock on the door. And so she said, "Who is it?" I said, "It's the blind guy." She said, "Oh, okay, come in." So he comes in and says, "Wow, nice boobs. Where do you want the blinds?" That's my only blind joke. I do have one clean joke. How do you know when an alcoholic is lying? When he moves his lips. So anyways, I really do want to share, so really thank everybody here. We couldn't do it without you. I mean, it takes a village, and I'm not just saying that. It really does take a village. The volunteers, the board members, everybody involved, my family, friends, my father Fred's here, Dawn and Mary, my sister, Julie, Laurie, and speaking of my father, Don, he's my biggest advocate, you know, and he was with me when I was blind and went through everything. And just a couple of weeks ago, we actually went to York High School, and I spoke to the students there and shared a message of helping others. And when we were driving there, he could barely breathe, and I was just like, my God, you know, and his health is failing, and that's the message I shared too with the high school students, you know. It's time is the biggest gift we can give people, you know. Time is our currency. It really is, you know, and I felt horrible, and it's just, you know, he still has a sense of humor, though, and he's here tonight, and I remember last week I said to him, you know what, and, you know, you may know I can get a little cocky here and there, so I said to my father, you know what, you're all set, I prayed for you, you're good. He said, you know what, stop praying for me. The last time you prayed for me, I wound up in the emergency room. And, so I don't pray for him anymore. And as far as, you know, Joy goes, I really want to thank her and everybody else, but as far as Time4Joy, and so Joy, I met her a couple of years ago in Market Square in downtown, and when I met her at Market Square, she said, I'm looking to volunteer. I said, that's perfect. I said, we're a 501c3 nonprofit. Perfect. I said, what a match. So she came on board to volunteer, and she worked her way up to being a board member, and what a great fit she's been and continues to be. And then I had said to her, Joy, what do you do when you cross your bridge? What do you do when you get to the other side? And she said, well, I guess it's my time for joy. And I said, that's it. It's not just your time for joy. It's the whole world's time for joy. Hence, that's how Time4Joy was born. And I love the acronym, you know, Jesus, others, you. You know, if we don't put God first, if I don't put God first, everything goes sideways for me. So that's how that was born. Time4Joy Fellowship Group, as well as the Comedy Night. And as far as I Got Bridge is concerned, how I Got Bridge came to fruition, I had lost my sight going on about 5 years ago approximately, and I was absolute end-stage alcoholic. I had hepatitis, neuropathy, gout, cirrhosis, and I was just end-stage alcoholic, mentally and physically. So I went to the doctor, and he said, Freddie, if you don't stop drinking, it's just, that's it, it's imminent death, you know, here shortly after. And I said, you know what, I'll take the cirrhosis. And I said, you know, can I drink tonight? That's how sick I was, you know, and he just shook his head. I walked out of the office, and then a couple of days later, I started to lose my sight. I said, something weird is going on here. And I was really nervous, and I went to the optometrist down the road, and she had, I could still see enough to see the look in her eyes. I had prescription glasses. And she said, you know something, I've never seen anything like this in my life, and I put a scare in me. So she said, you better go to Mass Eye and Ear immediately. So the next day, my father Don and I, we drove down to Mass Eye and Ear, and I went there and I was really nervous. And the doctor had said, you know, this is not related to alcohol at all. He said it's hereditary. It's called Leber's hereditary optic neuropathy. I said, what the heck is that? And he said it's a problem with your vision. It's a disease, a hereditary disease that you're going to actually lose your sight for the remainder of your life. Within 2 to 3 months, you'll only be able to see shapes and shadows. And I couldn't believe the words that were coming out of his mouth, and I was mortified, you know. And I said to him, you know, is there anything you can do, or can you suggest anything? Do you have any advice for me? And he said, well, yeah, I guess just go out and see as much as you can, as fast as you can. And so I took it to heart, and I went right to the strip club. And, sorry, Mom. And, you know, I was sick. I didn't go see Bar Harbor, you know, right there. And then when I got home, I made that conscious decision. I said to myself, you know what? I've lived a great life. I'm just going to drink myself to death. I mean, it's just amazing to have that thought process. And when I went to go drink myself to death, we got a call. Out of the blue, I got a call. No coincidences. It was like a needle in a haystack. They found my name in Philadelphia to go for this clinical trial where I go there 15 times within the first year in hopes to restore my sight. And I qualified for the trial. They only did it for non-alcoholics, believe it or not. And I simultaneously went to blind school. And Carol sent up for the blind, so while I was going to Philadelphia, I went to blind school, and boy, was I mad. I was fuming with God, and little did I know, God was the one that was going to get me through this. And when I got to blind school, I was just so upset and so angry, and they actually offered fencing. So I said, yeah, I'll do some fencing. I was so angry, you know. And so all of a sudden, I get in there, and I got the sword, and I'm jabbing, I got my helmet on, and I'm just pulling people left and right, you know. And then all of a sudden, I ripped my helmet off. I said, you want some of this guy? You got him! And the teacher started screaming, Freddy, relax! They're 12-year-old autistic kids! You know? They're all laying on the floor, you know? It felt horrible, you know? I tried to find them to make an amends. But after I ended up leaving blind school, I came home and I continued to walk. I lost like 55 pounds, and that's the only thing I knew how to do was walk. And once I got home, I ended up meeting my mentor, Dennis, who actually instilled in me what the value of helping others. And he took me through the 12 steps, and he let me know, you need to help others in order to get yourself out of your own self-pity. I said, help others, I need the help. And he said, exactly. So I took it to heart, and I was helping others. It wasn't going the right way. You know, people weren't thanking me the right way. And it wasn't until I got on my knees and prayed for zero in return did my life change forever. And my friend Shannon, she came up to visit me, and we were always on that Memorial Bridge. And when the Memorial Bridge went up, I'm sitting with my friend, and I said, what do you think about this for a nonprofit? Not only is it a physical barrier, but a metaphor for life, how to get to the other side. And she said, I love it. How are we going to do it? I said, I have no idea. And I didn't have any idea. But we started to shovel. Sue from this church that's so near and dear to us, she made 5,000 copies, and I ran around, passed them out to every place I could. I could see the driveway. And we started shoveling, and we were taking up care packages, about 20 per week. And then as it progressed about a year and a half ago, we were moving along towards that first walkathon, which we renamed Bridgeathon. And we're selling raffle tickets. We're starting to make some money. And I said to myself, on the bridge where all those thoughts come to fruition through God, and I said, wait a minute, with all this money, I have a tough time getting to the food pantry myself. Transportation's an issue. We'll get a 15-passenger van, and we'll call it the Bridgemobile. And all the hair on my skin just stood up like a porcupine. It was just incredible. And so we ended up going out. It was great. We raised $20,000 through the first annual Bridgeathon. And then we were able to purchase a 15-passenger van, and it was just incredible. We love it. And all the accessories, we had to fix a few things on it and insured it. And the last thing we fixed, it was in December of last year, we had to fix the heat, get these elderly people to the food pantry. We finally fixed the heat, and I called Joy and I said, everything is all set. I said, the only problem is, I said, we have no money left at all. And she said, what? I said, well, I'm lying. I said, we have 28 cents left in the bank account. And I said, what should we do? And she said, pray. I said, pray? I said, that's all you got? And so I prayed. And the next day, no word of a lie, I opened my mail through FaceTime because I can't see, and I was going through it with my sister. And all of a sudden, going through the mail, she said, wait, right there. I said, what? She said, that's a check for $5,000. I said, no way. I didn't even believe her. I went down to the bank to verify it. I just could not get over it. The notes ended up saying, we love what you're doing with the community. Keep it up. We love everything that iCoverage is doing. And we haven't looked back since as far as that goes with the van. We're having a ball on the van. We're taking people to the food pantry. And someone, Jack keeps us in check with his G-rated humor. If I had my sight, I could bet he could be blushing all the time. And we're having fun. The ladies across the street, the Golden Girls, one particular lady, her name's Susie, then we switched it to Hazel, then we call her Hazelnut. And of course, I just call her straight up Nutsky. And she loves the name. She introduces herself to everybody. Hi, I'm Nutsky. And a couple of weeks ago, her back was killing her. She's trying to get in the bed. And she says, Freddy, I slept in my bed the wrong way. She says, I got a huge pain in my back. I got a big Nutsky in my buttski. And, she's so damn good. They all, we love all of them. And as far as that goes, and all these people, especially mentioning, Crossroads, and they become near and dear to us. We pick them up 3 times a day for AA meetings, morning, noon, and night. We love them, and they pitch and shovel in. And it was funny in regards to helping others. There's a gentleman who's new there last snowstorm, and he runs up to me. And he says, Freddy, I want a shovel. I said, great. He goes, but just listen. He said, I can be straight up with you. I'm bipolar. I said, well, listen. I said, I'm not paying both of you. And then looking over his shoulder, I said, I'm talking to you. I said, oh, okay. He said, that's okay. I just want to do it for free. I want to help others to take myself out of my own self-pity. He said, but this guy needs a raise. I got you right back. And, you just have to have fun with it. It's been just such a great time. And, and I love that line. My sister puts on quotes every day. One of them was, if you can't beat fear, do it scared. And I love that. And I even have that fear. I was at Market Basket a couple of months ago, and I had to get a lot of items. So I actually had to get what's called the courtesy shopper. And so I was waiting for the courtesy shopper, and then she comes down, and I'm waiting for her, and then she says, how you doing? I said, are you deaf? She said, yeah, I am. You got a problem with that? I said, no. I said, I just thought, that's funny. I'm blind, and you're deaf. She goes, I know that. I'm not blind. You're the one that's blind. And I said, oh my God. I said, this chick is sassy. I love her, And so we just walked around, and we're shopping and fun banter back and forth, and right at the end of the shopping experience, and I said to her, she said, do you need anything else, Freddy? Anything, blah, blah, blah? And I said, yeah, do you have any extra small condoms? She said, oh, really? She said, extra small condoms for the blind guy? She gave it right back to me, deservedly so, That was fun, and I guess it's all right, we can, I guess I give myself a green light to, make fun of disabled and vice versa, and, but sometimes I actually get made fun of, as far as myself being mentally challenged, and I remember last summer I was walking by, it was a beautiful day, and the lady's sitting on the bench, I got my cane, I'm walking back and forth, and, this lady says to me, oh, look at you getting out in the sun, good for you, and so I lunged her, I said, thank you, and she took it back, she said, oh, you just have fun with it, It was actually last week. I was walking around a work truck, and the guy, the way they get treated, you just have to laugh at it, And he said, come on, buddy, you can do it, you got it. He said, give me a high five, yeah. You just laugh. There's nothing you can do about it, And who cares, right? It's my number one tool. Who cares, And I'll finish with this. I'm going to finish with this. And so, speaking of finish with this, and my program of recovery, all of them here all the time. I'll finish with this. And I end up saying it even in normal conversations now with regular people, the normal people that don't know what I'm talking about. And I'll finish with this. Last week I even said it during sex. I'll finish with this. Sorry. The problem was I was by myself. Sorry, Mom. But anyway, and anyways, I'll close with this. I'll close with this. You know, don't take yourself too seriously. Life is meant to be enjoyed. And don't tell people your problems. 90% of the people don't care. But the other 10% are glad you have them. Thank you so much.